We've gotten so many questions from our sprouting setup here in the background of other videos that I wanted to take you guys through everything to do with our ultimate sprouting setup. Everyone knows the benefits of sprouts, at least I hope by now, between all the anti-cancer research on sulforaphane from broccoli sprouts in particular, the digestibility of it. You're unlocking those nutrients, getting rid of a lot of phytates, making everything more digestible. It's real living food. We talk about just fruits and vegetables in general being living food, but when it's been sitting at the grocery store for several days, not to mention getting shipped there for several days, then sitting in your fridge for several days, that's not so living anymore. You don't have that life energy per se that you do in something that's literally growing up until the minute you eat it. And we're working on becoming master gardeners in the greenhouse, but until we do, we get a whole ton of bang for our buck just in this little tiny corner of our kitchen here. The sprouted seeds themselves versus the whole leaves that they grow into are also incredibly nutrient dense. If we were to take a sprout salad and compare it to a salad of just several kale leaves, I guarantee you there'd probably be thousands of times more nutrition in there in the sprouts than in just the full leaf salad. And also, speaking of salads, you can make big salads every night more nutrient dense for pennies on the dollar of what it costs you to go to the grocery store and fill up on produce. So that being said, what you will need is one or two, I would recommend two of these stainless steel drip trays. It's like what you would see at a bar, to capture the beer foam or something like that. This is a little healthier purpose. Basically, you can find them in all sizes. Just measure the space that you have to work with and then find the biggest size that'll fit inside that space. You will need mason jars. Get yourself a pack of 32-ounce mason jars and a pack of, I think these are 96-ounce mason jars, the big 6-cuppers. You'll need some sprouting lids. We like these Trellis & Co. They're nice quality stainless steel. They take a lot longer to rust than just a regular canning lid. They do after a while. These are actually due for a good scrub down, but just a little bit of lemon essential oil takes that right off when it does happen. Optional, not required, but highly encouraged would be trace minerals. We have typically been using the Activation Products brand of minerals, and then I just got this in the mail, so I thought I'd give it a whirl. Ormus is, a more energetically charged form of mineral. It was buried in the ground for a full lunar month, so you know it's good. So anyway, I like to soak the seeds in trace minerals when we're doing the initial soaking, just to be sure we're getting the most nutrient dense seeds with all possible nutrients possible. You will also need some seeds. We have gone wild and now probably have, 7 or 8 of these tins of different kinds, but starting out, I would recommend going with broccoli, a 5-part salad mix. We really love this Handry Pantry brand. They're here in Utah. They got really good testing, organic, all that good stuff. And this isn't just good for seeds. We soak nuts, rice, and beans in there as well. We really like this Wilderness Poets brand for nuts and a few other things. Just got a new batch of walnuts, so we'll soak those. A few cups there. So the basic rule of thumb with the seeds is, you'll see this when you get them, but let me see if I can show you here. So you see that's a mixture, but they're mostly smaller seeds. With smaller seeds and I guess, a mixture of big and small seeds. I do 2 kind of heaping tablespoons for a 32-ounce jar. Doesn't fill up a whole lot, as you can see, but it sure will. And for larger seeds, I do 4 tablespoons of broccoli seeds. You kind of get a feel for what it takes to fill up a jar. And also, the best way to start off, the smaller seeds grow a lot faster, at least this 5-part salad mix. Alfalfa seeds are also small, they grow faster. So it could have something to do with seed size, it could just have something to do with the individual seed, and a lot of the faster growing ones happen to be small, but start with a couple faster growing seeds and then fill up a slower growing seeds. Right now I have 2 jars of the 5-part salad mix because this mix grows pretty quick, and I have 1 jar of the broccoli seeds, and you'll see why this is as we get into the next few days. Now all there is left to do is soak them. So as you can see, I like to structure the water as many times as possible. That's even, you know, more than you need for the seeds, just for soaking them. With the nuts, I want to fill them up so they're completely covered. No need to really go much higher, they don't expand that much. With the rice, you need a little more because it will expand as it starts to get water into it, so at least twice the amount of water and rice as just the rice. If it starts looking like it's you know, maxing out on the water, I'll add a little more. And the beans definitely need the most water, even though it's only, you know, we only have a couple cups filled up here. We basically need to fill this guy all the way up because the beans soak up a lot of water. Second to last thing to do would be add minerals to everything. I'm pretty much going to pour maybe, you know, 1/8 to 1/2 teaspoons worth into each of these. Last thing to do is just kind of give everything a final swish, shake it all together, and put our sprouting lids on. You want the indent of the sprouting lid to go into the jar here. And that's it. You can find various soaking times online for the exact right time to soak every single different thing. I typically just soak everything overnight. That's more than enough time for the seeds. For the beans and rice, you can go a little bit longer. You can see them continue to absorb water even some of the next day. So I'll typically let that go until, like, you know, if I soak everything right before bed, which is what I usually do, I'll wake up and drain the seeds, and then I'll drain the beans and rice maybe halfway into the day, something like that. So I will see you when it's time to drain and rinse everything for the first time. Grab everything off of the trays, bring them over to the sink here. Got our seeds, walnuts. As you can see, the walnuts expanded a little even beyond the water level. The pinto beans came pretty close, and the rice grew quite a bit as well. So for the seeds, on the first day, I will rinse them twice. Shake everything out. Usually I'll actually shake everything out first. That makes it easier. Got the seeds, and I will note that the only reason I am doing this in the tap right now is because we have a whole house water filter. Before we had a whole house water filter, I was rinsing everything with our filtered water. Don't need a whole lot for the seeds. And you can see, like, on day one, the water's still quite murky. So I'll usually do a second rinse just on the first day. Clean everything up a little bit more. So we'll set the nuts aside for right now, and we'll put the seeds back on the tray. So remember I said I wanted the fastest growing seeds, which was the 5-part salad mix. I'll put those up front. I will put the broccoli seeds, which grow slower, right behind them. And actually we'll just take care of the walnuts right now as well. I will put them in the dehydrator, dry them back out, and then they'll be nice, you know, properly soaked and fully nutrient available, phytate free, or, you know, less phytates, I guess, walnuts. And then we'll get to the rice. Same thing with the rice. Actually, usually since this takes longer, I'll start filling one up while I'm shaking out the other big one. We'll do a double rinse of everything just on the first round. Alright, we'll throw the rice on there, and there we go. Morning after we soaked everything, we've got the walnuts in the dehydrator, and we've got our 3 seeds, rice and beans, now just sitting there taking in the sunlight and starting to do their thing to sprout. Nighttime rinsing and adding new things to soak. And really you can and should rinse anywhere from 2 to 3 times per day. I did not rinse in the afternoon today, but I think in the summer things have a tendency to get a little mold growth growing on them quicker, and you'll see it. You don't have to worry about whether or not it's there. You'll see if it's there or if it's not. So for the summer, definitely more towards the 3 times, at least for the first few days, and then you can back down to 2. So we'll rinse everything out. Since this is not the first rinse, just 1 time is enough. And the beans are already starting to sprout. So you could technically eat these and call them sprouted beans, but I'll probably let them sprout for another couple days. And nighttime is also the time that I add more stuff. So you can see how this becomes your nightly routine, and it's pretty quick. That, took me a few minutes to rinse everything, add a new seed, and we're good to go for the night. So this morning, as you can see, we do have some significant sprouting activity there. These are the 2 5-part salad blends that we started with. We could eat those today if we really wanted to, but we'll let them go one more day just to fill up the jar. Here are the broccoli sprouts. Here are the clover sprouts. We'll keep them in order. Here are the radish seeds. And last night, I added alfalfa. These are...
Alfalfa for Chisholm?
No, but the same kind of alfalfa that Chisholm eats. We're gonna have little tiny sprouts of it. So we could feed Chisholm alfalfa sprouts if we had enough, but that'd be a lot of sprouts. Horses eat a lot. These beans are pretty much good to eat whenever we want. Got some more new rice. These are Adzuki beans, which are pretty cool because when they sprout, and they sprout really fast in a day or 2, you can either eat them raw or cook them. As you can see, it is clearly time to eat some sprouts today. Our first 2 jars of the 5-part salad mix are nice and full. Broccoli is pretty much full as well. And then what was this? The clover coming along. It all pops one day. It's pretty cool how it happens. The radish is coming along. Alfalfa starting to sprout.
Is it for Chisholm?
And I saved the last one for today. I think for today, and this will be our final jar, we'll probably do another broccoli. They all have benefit. I think broccoli probably has the most benefit. So we have like, I don't know, 6 or 7 different kinds of sprouts. We probably do broccoli every 3rd jar or so. As for the rice and beans, we did eat the pinto beans last night. You can see this new batch of rice coming along. New batch of beans, not sprouted yet, but these Adzukis will sprout very soon. All right, hold it up. All right, okay, you can hold that up too. All right, there we go. And maybe for a little rotation, we'll do some lentils today.
To make lentil loaves?
Could make some lentil loaves, yeah, bud. Saturday. I think we started this on Monday, and as you can see, we are now bursting at the seams when it comes to sprouts, and as long as we just keep refilling another one every day, this is the amount of stuff we'll have every day. We actually did eat a jar yesterday. When it comes to like a full jar of sprouts like this, you can put it in the fridge. You don't want it to grow, you know, this is probably too full, to be honest, because if it just sits this packed, then it will, you know, you can get some mold in there and go bad quicker, that sort of thing. So you can put it in the fridge. If you're going to eat it really soon, just put like an actual regular canning lid on. Or if you think it might be a couple days, the sprouting lid is good because it keeps air in there, and then you know, it'll last a little longer in the fridge. But the regular can lid will keep it a little fresher. So there's the trade-off for you. I would just encourage you to make sure to eat it every night is the best way to do it. If you ever notice that you have, you know, too much sprouts, then you just have a really big sprout salad that night and solve the problem. And just to show you the lentils here, remember that started out as just a you know, a little, maybe a couple cups worth, and now we got all those lentils. We might make a lentil loaf or something like that a little later. And now we'll show you, as you can see, we just cooked up a little veggie scramble for breakfast. So you'll see a big way of how we use sprouts.
They're really, really good.
All right.
That one. That one? Right? No. It's good.
It's clover. Good.
Clover. What's that? Do you got one? Clovers are really good. Yeah, just have another one. Yeah.
Alright, so as you can see, here's our little veggie scramble for the morning. And then we just load up the sprouts.
Hello. Thank you, lunch. Thank you, lunch.
Seed from thy bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen.